Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Fun with Rhythm with Mrs. Wilder. This video is for 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders. It's a review of our sheet for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders. And I want to make sure you can see it because I know there's a little bit of a glare. And you're going to need paper and pencil so you can take notes. And it's really helpful to take notes. When you write out things, it gets more in your brain. And when you say them aloud, they get in your brain even more. So, you can stop the video and get paper and pencil. And I'm going to start from the beginning. And the first symbol I want to talk about is the time signature. And this is the 4/4, the time signature. So if you could please write down the time signature. Write down the time signature for me. And the top 4 means it gets 4 counts. So write down top 4 equals 4 counts in a measure. And you can always pause this video at any point. And this says top 4 equals, so see the 4 equals top 4 equals 4 counts in a measure. So you're going to need to know that. And then one of our notes that we have is the quarter note. So you're going to want to take notes of all this. Write yourself a definition of it. Equals quarter note. Equals 1 count. And this is the quarter note. And it equals 1 count. You should write all these down. I will take a picture of this piece of paper for you, but make sure you write it down as well, okay? And then this is the quarter rest. Write it down for yourself. And this is the quarter rest, and it equals 1 count. I think when you write things out, it makes it a little bit easier, because it gets into your brain more. And this is the pair of eighth notes. And most of our notes equal 1 count each. And this right here is the pair of eighth notes, and it equals 1 count. And these are the 16th. So we did the quarter notes, the quarter rest, the pair of eighth notes, and now we're going to do the 16th notes. And these are the 16th notes, and notice how there's 2 lines, and they equal 1 count too. And then we have the half note, and the half note gets 2 counts. I'm going to put a star next to it. And the half note gets 2 counts. I put a star next to it so you remember it gets 2 counts. And then we have the half rest. It looks like a hat. Equals half rest. And this gets 2 counts. And this is what it looks like. So you can copy all this down. And then we have the whole rest, and we have the dotted quarter note with the eighth note, dotted quarter note with the eighth note, and that equals 2 counts. And the dotted quarter note with the eighth note, I wrote that out, and it gets 2 counts. I wrote a star next to it. And then we have the whole rest, and it looks like a hole in the ground or an upside down plate. And that equals 4 counts. And I'm going to put a star next to that so you remember that as well. And this is the bar line. And then we have the double bar line. And here we have the bar line, and this separates 2 measures, or separates measures from themselves. And this is the double bar line, and equals the end of the rhythm. So you need to copy all that down. And here's the reference that I want to show you. So here we have, this is the time signature. This is the bar line. These are the bar lines. These are the double bar lines. And this one goes at the end. It's like a ta-da, the end with the 2 lines. This is the quarter. These are the quarter notes. These are the quarter rests, which equals silence. These are the pair of eighth notes. These are the 16th notes. This is the half note. It gets 2 counts, and all the other ones get 1 count. Except the time signature gets no count, the bar line doesn't get a count, the double bar line doesn't get a count. So the quarter notes get 1 count, the quarter rest gets 1 count of silence, the pairs of eighth notes get 1 count, the 16th notes get 1 count. And then the half notes get 2 counts, the half rest gets 2 counts. So these kind of go together like peas and carrots, like peanut butter and jelly, like just like the quarter note and the quarter rest go together like peanut butter and jelly. This is the dotted quarter note with the eighth note. They go together. You don't separate them. Keep them together. And if you write them, first write the dotted quarter note and then the eighth note after it. I'm sorry, my bird is going crazy, or my daughter's bird, I should say. So here is the same thing. Here's the dotted quarter note with the eighth note. And then I think I covered everything on the page. So let's make a rhythm together. And the first thing you always need is the front door, which is the time signature. Oh, I didn't write time signature for you. This is the time signature. Okay, I wrote that down for you. So the first thing you need is to write the time signature, the 4/4. So that always comes first, because you need to establish that there's 4 counts in a measure and the quarter note gets 1 count. And next, we can write, sorry, I'm just fixing my papers. We can write 4 quarter notes. 1, and they look like this. So write 4 of them, but write them nice and neat and fill them in. The quarter notes. Sometimes students struggle with remembering what gets filled in and what doesn't get filled in. 2, 3. We're making our first measure together. And 4. And then write the counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the top 4 doesn't mean there's 4 notes in a measure. It just talks about the counts, the number of counts you need in each measure. Doesn't mean 4 notes. Doesn't mean 4 of anything. This is our first measure that we're making together. So this is 1 measure. So I'm going to put measure 1 underneath. Measure 1. So here you have the time signature, our measure, and then the double bar line. And that's the back door. So, and I wrote a little more description for you that the time signature always goes first. Then you have the measure, and the double bar line always goes last. So that's one measure. So make that one measure with me. I like for us to practice making measures because that helps you get it in your head on how to actually make a measure. And soon you'll be independently making measures. So then let's make another rhythm. So write your time signature, the 4 line and then the 4. It's a fraction. Music is a lot about math, and let's write a measure with 2 half notes. Let me show you what that looks like. Now when I write 1, 2, and 3, 4, it doesn't mean 12 and 34. It means just the first half note gets counts 1 and 2, and the second half note gets count 3 and 4. Just give me 1 second. I'm writing it out for you. So here I wrote one measure with 2 half notes. So I can only have, when you write a measure with 2 half notes, you can only have 2 half notes in a measure if you're using both half notes. So this equals counts 1 and 2, not 12, and this equals counts 3 and 4. So the first thing we need is the time signature. The last thing we need is the double bar line, and this is measure 1. So that's enough for today. It's a long video for you, but thanks for hanging in there. You did a great job. I'm really proud of you. And so this is for my this video was for my third, fourth, and fifth graders.